Hey, good morning. Good morning, everybody. 1, 2. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Nope. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check. 1, 2. Okay. Uh, I think whoever's watching, can you type in the chat if you can hear me or not? I don't want to start what I have to say until somebody can hear me. 1, 2, check. 1, 2, check. Woohoo! 1, 2, 3, check. 1, 2, 3, check. Wow. Audio difficulty, guys. Bear with me. I did not. I didn't take that out there. Can anybody hear me? 1, 2, check. Okay. I don't know if I can be heard. But good morning anyway. My mic is on, but it's not moving. So I guess, oh, there you go. I guess I'm moving now. Good morning, everybody. Once again, I don't know what's going on with this, but it's a little bit different from what I did yesterday, right? So I woke up this morning and, I found out that somebody all the way up in the state of Maine went on a shooting rampage and shot and killed several people, right? I'm just saying this because they're gonna classify him as somebody that's mentally unstable, or you know I think they already said he's a veteran of of the armed forces. Now, before going further, I'm not my cousin. I'm not tough love. I have not been in the military. I haven't, so I cannot speak on those type of things. I don't know what those guys go through. We thank them for their service, but hopefully he can, you know, this young person or whoever this guy is can get the help that he needs, right? So I'm just saying, you know, as I can't speak for him, I can speak for us, right? Because more than likely he's gonna have PTSD, right? Now, trauma happens to a lot of people. It just doesn't happen in the war or battle, rather, because some of us are warring like right now. Some of us are having wars in our mind over situations that happened to us in childhood, or situations that's going on in our relationships, whether it's a husband or wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, family, whatever. We're going through these type of traumas as we speak right now. So I'm saying that we don't have to do this alone, right? Because at the end of the day, the more that we do this by ourselves is the more that we're gonna have to battle a situation. A lot of us grow up, you know, as we become older, we're growing up and we decide that, we don't want help. or maybe because some of us feel we don't get the help that we need, that we're going to go through situations alone. And I'm saying you don't have to go through it alone. I know that trust is a big thing for a lot of us in the community. So it's like we need to do better. We really need to do better as we go forward. We have at least one person we could turn our trust to. We're not meant to be on this planet by ourselves. We're not supposed to go through everything by ourselves. I truly believe that. And it's not just because the Bible says so. I just think it's a reality of life, right? For example, if you can't produce a family by yourself, right? You need a male or a female, right? We can do certain things by ourselves, but we shouldn't be going through life in totality by ourselves, right? Even if a lot of us believe, that's the model right now, right? Single parents and so on and so forth. That's not really the way to do it, to go through life by ourselves and things like that. So, I'm just saying that we have to find somebody, we have to lean on somebody, we have to trust somebody because we are not supposed to do this by ourselves. Most of us are getting older. And as we get older, things start to happen to us physically, emotionally, and we're just not supposed to do it by ourselves. So my question would be, what does it take for you? And well, I'll speak for me. What will it take for me, excuse me, to trust somebody, to lean on somebody, to go on out there and say, hey, I need someone to talk to. Now I know for people that's been through trauma, they don't, they may not feel like they want to go to a therapist. They may not want to open up. They may not want to do a lot of things. But without these steps, these things stay inside of us. It makes us sick, I believe. Not physically, even though that's possible, but I'm speaking more to like mental health. Because we just keep things bottled to we keep it bottled in. The old expression is pressure bust pipes. So if that's the truth, if that's the case, then why are we allowing this to stay inside of us? Because we don't trust nobody, because we believe that nobody's here for us, because we are afraid that once we show vulnerability, that someone's going to mock us or ridicule us or use it against us. That's a sucky way of living, right? I'm going to just go ahead and say this, right? To anybody that hears this or sees this, you know, if you truly, truly want to get something off your chest, out your mind, out your body, as far as, a problem, stressful situations or whatever, and you feel like you have no one to turn to, you don't have the money for a therapist, you don't trust this person, you don't trust that person, my first suggestion is confide in a family member, someone that you really trust. I don't know who it could be, right? For girls, I don't know if you have a BFF. I know for guys, it may be a little bit harder to do because it's a man thing. We don't talk about that. Nah, homie. If we don't talk about it, it's stuck, and it makes us do things that we don't necessarily want to do, but we feel like we got to do it because we don't have that person to lean on. It's just like a guy saying to another guy, "Yo, I love you, man." That's a rare statement or a rare emotion that's being shown from one man to another, because I think our social our social life, we have watered it down to where men can't show emotion. It's okay to show, yo, I love you, bro. All right, cool. I love you, bro. All right, that's cool. But we don't even do that, right? For the men. And it's just not, this topic is just not a man issue. It's for everyone because women go through it too. I love you, sis, but I don't trust sis now. Sis, she stabbed me in the back and this, that, and the third. We have to find a way to trust somebody. We have to find a way to truly believe that somebody is here for us. Somebody really wants us to be better. Somebody wants to help us with no strings attached. I don't have to do this by myself. I really don't have to do this by myself. But because we are so scattered physically from family, mentally from family, emotionally from our families, family is not just for some, it's not for people that you was born into, it's people that you love or to that extent trust or feel compatible with, you know. But we're so distant from everybody. We're so all over the place that we feel like we have to do things alone. And I'm just here to say we don't have to do everything on our own. We can find that one person to confide in. We have to stop being afraid that if we open up to somebody, it's not gonna it's gonna be used against us. I know people weaponize our emotions. I know people weaponize our our fears and worries. That is the case. But we have to stop making the minority the majority. Certain people do that, but not everybody does that, right? And I get it. I trust two people, and then they turned around and started speaking about me behind my back and this, that, and the third. That's possible. What is also possible is that you can actually have this conversation and feel better about yourself, and it won't get out. So I'm just saying that for those of you that feel like you don't have that situation, that scenario, if I'm the last person on the planet Earth, I tell this to everybody. If I'm the last person on the planet Earth that you have to talk to, I will make myself available to you because this is crazy. My condolences go out to those families up in Maine that lost somebody or their family was injured in this situation. I only feel bad for the man because the man must have been going through something. He he must have felt he didn't have no one to turn to. They turn into an action as severe as this. I didn't want to say deadly, but I can say it. Deadly as this. You make it impossible for people to live life. Or I don't know. I don't want to speculate that he was upset that people was living their lives. All I know is that he went to a bowling alley and shot up the bowling alley. I mean, if people trying to enjoy themselves and you felt like that thing was something's wrong. People were trying to live their lives and they lost it. Right? You don't need a millionaire to tell you, hey, if you got a problem, let's talk it out. Let's talk to a therapist. Let's talk to a psychologist. Whatever level it is, talk to someone you trust. I'm not a millionaire, but I can tell you I would be available for you just to speak, just to vent, just to have a conversation like, hey, I didn't have no one to talk to, but I'm going through something. Some of us don't even like to tell us if we're sick physically. So how much harder would it be to turn around and say, "Hey, I'm having a mental breakdown. I can't spot it or whatever." I can't, you know what I mean? Like people don't even, well, how you feeling? I'm okay, but you're coughing in the background. Hey, it sounds like you're kind of sick. No, I'm fine. Sounds like you're coughing a lot, ma'am slash sir, or ma'am or sir. You won't even want to tell somebody that you got a cold. So why is, the question is, why is it so hard? Is it that hard? Is it that hard that we can't have a conversation of how you doing and be honest about it? Like this is bothering me. That's bothering me. But we sure will turn around and say, "Hey, I know something's wrong with them. That person over there, but they ain't want to talk to me." Let's keep it on the eyes, which is you and I. What's wrong with us to where we cannot have that conversation? Well, I feel sad because I lost my job. I don't know what to do. I'm worried. I'm stressed. Or I'm thinking about ending this relationship, but because I don't have my ducks in a row, I don't know what to do. Or I'm thinking about moving away from my normal place of residence or my city that I was raised in the majority of my life because it's too familiar for me. Sometimes familiarity is not good, right? Because it keeps you stuck in a rut. In order for us to grow, in order for us to change, we have to leave the things that we know or we're used to. We have to get away from it because if we're used to the same thing, we're probably stuck in a rut in the first place. But you don't have you have to feel confident enough to go ahead and say, you know what, I'm ready to make that change. Oh, I almost sounded like Michael Jackson right there. Make that change. But it may be time for you to make the change. But because you feel like you're doing it by yourself, you don't want to say, "Hey, what you think about me moving to the moon?" Not trying to be funny, but it's just a new place. What do you think? What do you think if I do that? Or what do you think if I speak to this person and try to end this beef? Or what do you think if I decide to change my job and go for my dreams? We have to stop feeling like we have to make these decisions. We do have to make the decisions at the end of the day. It's for us. But there's nothing wrong with gathering input. There's nothing wrong with gathering information or advice to see if we can do the things that we need to do. Of course, the decision's always going to be yours at the end, but gather information from them people that you believe will not steer you wrong. A lot of us just feel that people are going to steer us wrong because they're jealous, they're hateful, they're spiteful, they're this and that. There's a lot of people that really care about you. Whether we see it or not is another story. We have to believe that someone will care about us enough to say, you know what, I think you're making the wrong decision. Some of us got to eat that and just hear it out and say, hey, you made a good point. Maybe I'll step back and review your thought. Let me weigh that out. But you have to have the conversation with somebody first and foremost. I get it. We grown. Nobody could tell us nothing. This, that, and the third. I get all of that. But at the end of the day, life is not meant for us to be alone. No man is an island. No one should stand alone. Right? So, what is it going to take for us to have this conversation? What is it going to take for us to trust somebody? I know that might be a dangerous conversation on these YouTube streets, but the conversation needs to be had, right? It really needs to be had because if we keep going on doing the same thing, the same thing, the same thing with no input, no advice, we could be going in circles. We could just be wandering in the wilderness. Good morning, atmosphere. Right? Now let's just say, for example, this man had the conversation with somebody and turned around and said, you know what? What do I need to do to get away from this hurt? What do I need to do to get away from this pain? And somebody consoled him and comfort him, or whatever it needed to take for him not to do the things that he did. There will be people alive out there in these streets. There will be people alive in Maine that could go on. Somebody lost a brother, a sister, a father, a son, a mother, or a daughter, all because this one man decided to do what he had to do. Because if we live in reality, ain't nobody telling that man, hey, yo, go shoot up the joint. And I'm not trying to make this a laughable issue. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, I felt like he had to have done this on his own accord with nothing behind him, no thought process. I'm not going to say a thought process, but no positive advice behind him, because there's nothing positive about that. Now, I don't even know. Well, they ain't catch him yet, so because he's still on a run. But it's a possibility now. More people may get hurt. I know people don't like the police, but if the police is doing their job and he feels threatened, he might take them, try to take them out with the next shot. So what is it going to take for us to really sit down and say, you know what, man, I can't do this by myself. I actually need someone to talk to. I actually need someone to hear what I'm saying and give me the advice that I need. Not the yes people. We definitely don't need those yes people around. Because yeah, you can do it. Yeah, go ahead. I could jump up through. Yeah, you got that. You got that. You're gonna land on your feet, knowing good and well that ain't the truth. It's time for us to take the kitty gloves off and be open and honest with people. If we're gonna give advice, we got to give it with sincerity. Like, yo, I don't think you should step on that nail. It might go through your foot. I'm not going to sit there and turn around and say, you know what, man, go ahead and step on that, man. You invincible. You can't do that. We have to live in reality, man. Words give life. Words can give death too, right? That's why we tell people to speak life. If you speak life, life will come to you. You know how many times I heard people say, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired, and end up dying? That is a scary phrase. We really have to understand that words can give life and it can take life. We really do have to understand that. If you turn around and say, yo, I hope you get yours, and then somebody get theirs, it's a possibility that your words gave life. Somebody gonna take you out, and that person can get taken out. What you gonna say? Oh, well, God heard me, or whoever your higher power is, if you believe in that. We really have to understand that that gives life, but we don't. But what I'm saying is, we have to figure a way to not believe that we have to go through things alone. A conversation with a person can help. A conversation, yes, for the most part, it can help. I know people going to say, well, you know, people going to weaponize it and use it against me. I'm willing to take that chance, right? I really am willing to take that chance. I'd rather do that than go on and think about, well, take action for the first thing I think when I'm upset. Good morning, me. Like, it's a shame. It's a shame if that man had a conversation with somebody that truly was going to try to help that person. There will be some people alive in Maine that deserve to live. We know bullets ain't got no name, so we're not going to say they was targeted. But there are people that lost their life because someone didn't have that conversation with somebody because they felt like they were an island. They felt like they were alone. We can't keep going through life believing that we can do everything by ourselves. We have to find that one that we can trust. And if you can't find that one that you can trust, even if you turn to YouTube to seek advice, you gotta You gotta hope and believe that someone really cares about you on this thing. I get it. The YouTube atmosphere is so toxic, this, that, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth. But guess what? There's some people that really have concerns for people that they talk to on YouTube. No, it ain't gotta be the most romantic thing or anything like that. No, but hey, they can really care about you just because you're a human being. They can care about you just because you're going through something. It's okay. This may not be the place for that type of situation. But when all else other options is ran out, this may be the place for you to go. Right? It doesn't hurt to speak life. It doesn't hurt to say, you know what, I care about you. I know that, without naming names, I know some people went through some things. Take the time out to have a conversation. Listen, if you need me, if you need to talk, I'm here. If you need to talk, I will sit here and listen to you. No shade, no judgment, no nothing. But we gotta really believe that we don't have to do this by ourselves. We don't. We truly don't. And it ain't because, our lives tell us that we have to do things on our own. We don't. We're not supposed to. We're not supposed to be here. We're here to have helpmates. If we're supposed to have helpmates, we ain't supposed to do it by ourselves. Doesn't that make sense? Right? Meek, you so silly. Ain't nobody in the bushes. Hey, and if anybody is in the bushes, it's okay. It's time for us to be a ram in the bush. Not like God. We ain't God. But it's time for us to be a ram in the bushes instead of being in the bushes. Some people may need our help. Some people may need somebody to just listen to me. Let me get this off my chest. There's a lot of people going through something out here. And for the whole entire time, nobody is willing to take that chance because, like I said earlier, somebody's going to use it to weaponize you. Right? So silly. It's not about weaponizing it against you. If you really care about somebody, you're going to say the things that you say. Right? Like this, Meek, you already know. You go through, you just push, what you say, push, go, and talk. Right? Because you got to get something off your chest sometimes. Sometimes somebody rubs you the wrong way. Before you act on it, you need somebody to talk to, or else you might do harm to them and eventually harm to yourself. That's for women and men. Men is different. Men might black out and just try to pound a man to death. But now you taking a life and you losing your life. What did you gain from that? All because you didn't have no one to talk to. Guys, mental health is real. Mental instableness is real. There are people that's going through something. It's just unfortunate, like I said, that this young man is an Army vet, and I don't know what his track record is. Like I said, I'm not tough love. I can't speak on it. I don't know what it's like to go on the battlefield and do the things that they do and come home and act like everything is normal. I'm glad to say I've never taken a life. I fought before. I even felt bad that I had fought before with my fists. Dang, I hurt that boy. Dang, I hurt that man. You tried to knock him out. I had to protect myself. But you don't, like, even in that frame of mind, you don't even think about yourself. You think, well, let me take that back. You do think about yourself. You're here to protect yourself. It's either him or me. But I ain't going to be like me and hit and run. I'm not doing that. If it goes down, it goes down. I'm not running from it. I'm swinging. I'm swinging to take you out. Until I take you out, unless you take me out, then that's a different story. Right? But what I'm saying is that nobody has to go through these things alone. Nobody really has, they don't have to. But because of the way society is now, the way that people feel like they're being attacked, the way that they feel uncomfortable just saying it to somebody, we feel like we got to do this by ourselves. You know, that's the one thing I love about Miss Coco BX, right? She just check her page out or check her channel out. She'll go through detail what she went through. You know how hard it is to speak about something like that? And yet you still acting like, hey, I'm still processing the fact that I still need to keep going. Because if I don't keep going, that person wins. She leans on us. That's why she got a channel. She leans on us when those situations come. She got family, but she leans on us. She's giving us testimony to show, hey, you don't have to do this by yourself. And that's one of the most traumatic things in the world to go through a situation like that. Like I said, for those of y'all that want to know, check out her channel. You know, go through her lives, and and y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. But what I'm saying is, you don't have to do this by yourself, right? Meek didn't have to move by herself. She could have, but she chose not to. She said, yo, let me get around somebody that I believe will help me. Good morning, Uncle L. How you doing? Because at the end of the day, we don't have to do these things by ourselves. We don't have to go through suffering by ourselves. We don't have to go through trauma by ourselves. Even though it happens, even though it's uncomfortable, we need to speak about it to somebody. I get it. You don't want to tell a therapist. You don't want to talk to a stranger. But guess what we're doing on YouTube? We're talking to strangers. We're developing a relationship through a screen. We're developing a relationship through words. Words give life, like I said, but it can take life too. You know, if I flick the camera on, you'll see who I am, and then I'll flick it back off. Now you got a face to a voice. But you still don't know me. I still don't know you. But the one thing I can say is that I believe I'm doing things to build the trust in somebody for somebody out there. Hopefully, I'm building confidence in somebody to say, you know what? Well, I really feel like I need to talk to somebody because I'm going through this stage. I just lost my mama. I don't know how to act. Or I just lost my husband and I don't know how to act. I just divorced my husband and I don't know what to do. Right? These are the times that we have to understand we're not built to do this by ourselves. We really got to believe that. And even if we turn to YouTube, like I said, it's a cry for help. Not a cry for help, but it's just saying, yo, listen, I'm at my last point. I'm in desperate mode. Not to say that YouTube is a desperate avenue, but some people feel comfortable doing this. Right? There's been plenty of people on here say, you know what, man, I have no one to turn to. I'm gonna just keep it to myself. And then they just let it build up and build up and build up. And then when it busted, that pressure bust pipe, it busted the pipe, and then it's on the wrong person. Meaning you taking it out on someone that probably don't even deserve it. All because we felt like we had to hold that problem in and not be willing to have the conversation like, yo, I'm messed up. I don't have no one to talk to. I don't trust that person. A lot of us is at the age to where we don't even want to we're so ashamed that we don't want to tell our parents if we got them that, Mom, I don't feel right. Or Pop, I don't feel right. Right? Some of us don't even have those elders in our lives anymore to sit there and say, you know, I could turn to you. Hey, Mom, I'm just calling you to say, you know what? Something happened. Something's going on with me, and I don't know what it is, but I just need somebody to talk to. We have lost our closest confidant for whatever reason, old age, you know, death, whatever you want to call it. Now it's time for we gotta rebuild. We gotta change the mindset. Like I was saying yesterday, we gotta change it just so we can live, find the peace in our life to go forward. That man didn't have no peace. And it's like, I'm not trying to be funny. He found peace in another dimension. He thought taking people out will bring him peace. That's crazy for normal, sane people. That may be crazy. That might sound crazy, but for him, he did it. What's going through his mind now? No one will never know. I just believe that that's because he had no one to talk to. But the question is, what is it going to take for us to have the conversation with somebody to say, yo, I'm not doing good. I'm thinking about A, B, or C because I'm depressed. I'm turning to alcohol because I'm depressed. Not because it's something fun to do, but because I'm depressed. What is it going to take for us to have that conversation? What is it going to take for us to say, yo, I'm not well? What is it going to take for us to be honest? Well, if you want to be an island, what is it going to take for you to be honest with yourself and say, yo, I need help? We cannot keep going through life believing that our answers is always the correct answer. Our way is always the right way. Keeping it to ourselves is the right thing. They always what did they tell y'all when you was younger? If you sweep the dust under the carpet, that little bump is going to turn into a molehill. Meaning that it's going to keep building up because you keep sweeping it away, sweeping it away, sweeping it away. Or you think you're not even sweeping it away, you're sweeping it under the carpet. It's still in the house. You're not even cleaning. You're not clearing your thoughts. It's right there in the back of your mind. It's still lingering in your mind. It's still bothering you. Then more things come, more things come, more things come. And all because we don't feel comfortable when having that conversation with somebody. And then when you start answering your own questions, you don't even realize that you are answering your own question. That's what makes you insane. That's what lets you know that you at the boiling point of your life. Like, I'm really answering my own question. Okay, well, let me go on out there and slap that girl that said something about me. Or let me punch that dude in his face that was talking like he was like that to me. We're not spring chickens. A lot of us are not in our 20s, right? We have to live in reality. The reality is we're not supposed to be doing things on our own accord. If you're gonna have a family, if Jesus slap them, boy, that'll be a problem in itself, right? But maybe some people do need Jesus to slap them into reality. Like, yo, you don't have to go through this by yourself. It should not take a supernatural experience to understand that, yo, I don't have to do this by myself. But because we're so involved with ourselves, we keep looking to ourselves for our own answers. That's what's really happening. We're not here to answer our own questions. We should not be here to answer our own questions. If you got a question, you should be able to ask it out loud and listen to the answers that you get. Not from you, but from somebody else. It's okay if it's not the answer that you want to hear. It's not. But let me ask you this. If it ain't the answer that you want, but everybody's telling you to do it. For example, Mika started a parade of telling people I need to start a page. I'm like, Mika, I don't think it's time. I'm waiting on God. And then somebody else, yeah, go ahead, you should do it, Gary. Or go ahead, you should, yo, bro, Gary, I think you should do it. You're very encouraging, this, that, and the third. But I don't think I'm ready. Now, what if I would have listened to myself? I wouldn't be having this conversation with y'all right now if I was to actually listen to myself. But I get it. I thank y'all for being open and honest with me. It's just time to do what your heart says to do. But sometimes, we listen to the wrong heart. We listen to the dark heart instead of the light heart, meaning that, there's two entities fighting in you, your good side, your bad side. Good morning, Cheeky. Which one are we going to listen to? Right? But you got to step out, but you don't got to do it by yourself. That's the only conversation that you need to have with yourself. Like, I'm going to do it, I'm not going to do it. And then give it to somebody else. Right? If you do it that way, you ain't driving yourself crazy having a conversation with yourself. We know that those voices is real. Spiritual voices are real. We believe that, right? So sometimes we lean on a physical voice. For those that pray, they pray and then say, you know what? I need to hear a human voice. So someone could tell me if I'm doing the right thing or not. Or does this make sense, or whatever it is. We need to do that all the time. Stop leaning on ourselves for our own understanding. Because sometimes, a lot of the times, our ways ain't the right ways. There's sometimes that our ways are right. Our answer to ourselves is right, but a lot of the time it's not. But we just keep leaning onto our own understanding. Instead of going out there and saying, hey, Cheeky, what you think about if I put some ice in this vodka, you think it's gonna do something to my body? That's an inside joke. But it's too early, Cheeky. Don't serve me no drink. But you know what I mean? It's okay to ask questions. It's okay to gain input from somebody. It's not okay if you keep doing it to yourself. You keep asking yourself and answering yourself. That's not okay. I promise you that. It's going to hurt you in the long run more than it helps you. But like I said, I get it. We feel like we're away from those we trust, or we don't trust somebody because they scorned us, or can't turn to our family because they waiting for our downfall, whatever the situation is. But you gotta have that one person in your life to say, you know what? Even if they disagree with me, I believe they're disagreeing with me out of love, or I believe they disagreeing with me just for my own safety. Otherwise, that's why we having these problems. That's why people out there getting these guns and shooting up mass shootings and all this other stuff. Who are they talking to? Who do we really think they talking to out here? They can't be talking to nobody, because who's giving that advice? Yo, go ahead, go shoot the school up, knock on wood. Go ahead and shoot that bowling alley up, knock on wood. You're going to get your answer there. Who's telling people that? And if somebody is telling them that, they need to be taken out as soon as he starts or she starts. I get it that this world is not, it may seem like there's more hate in this world than love. I get it that we believe that there's no trust. There's more distrust than trust. We got to look deeper to find the trust, everybody. Whoever's listening to this now, or whoever's going to listen to it later, we have to find a way to find the trust that's in this out here somewhere. We can't believe that everybody's looking for a downfall. Now, there's going to be times that the search may be hard. There may be times that the search, I'm never going to find it. You can find it the same way we could find negative attributes. We could find the positive attributes. It's up to us. It just seems easier that the negative attributes it seems like it's just dropping out the sky like manna. But if we continue to look for the help, we can find the help. It's up to each and every one of us to say, you know what? I need help. We have to be confident within ourselves and honest to say, I need help. I need someone to talk to. And like I said, if I am the last person on the planet Earth that is available for you to have the conversation with, I am willing to help. Because at the end of the day, I believe I know what it feels like to not have that in my life. Being a person that went through life for the most part of it by myself, I mean, I had people, but I chose not to choose these people. And now that these people are gone, it's too late to have the pity party. It's too late to say, you know what? Only if you was here, I can tell you the problem. Because when they was here, we didn't celebrate them enough. Because we believe that we can do it ourselves. We believe that we was an island with nothing around us, no land, no other land mass around us, no one there for us, no one there. We were thousands of miles away. I don't want to be Gilligan, guys. Well, I definitely don't want to be Gilligan because if I keep seeing people get off the damn island, I'm trying to get off the island myself, right? But I don't want to keep seeing people coming and going, and I'm still in my same spot. What is it going to take for us, guys, to have this conversation? What is it going to take for us to say, you know what? I need to talk to somebody about something, whatever it is that's going through. Thank you, Meek. We need to have this conversation. We need to be open and honest with ourselves so we can get that negative taste out of our mouth, that negative thought out of our mind, that negative emotion, that negative spirit away from us. It's good and bad and everything. But when we do it, it's more negative because we think we're doing good, but it turns it's not, right? And we keep our that's just like knowledge, right? That's why I love Cheeky because Cheeky, even on her channel, y'all need to subscribe to Cheeky's channel, right? She's telling us like, things that what they say it is, it's not. These people got it from these people. And for thousands of years, we've been told otherwise. But because we only going by what we do or what we heard instead of doing our own research, we're gonna believe what's out there. We got to do our own soul searching, right? We gotta find out where we are, right? I give y'all an example, right? I thought me and my brothers. I have three brothers, one passed already. I thought that we were the last descendants on our father's side, all because my father's father was never spoken about. So that makes me take an ancestry. I did the ancestry. I ain't got no problem admitting that. I did the ancestry. Come to find out, I got people on that side of the family I never even knew of. And I'll be open and honest again. A couple of them I subscribe to on this very YouTube service. One is Tough Love, and one is Miss Coco BX. That's how I found them. Because I took the time to say, you know what? I need answers. And instead of me doing my own answers, somebody gave me the answers I need for me. I participated by saying, who are these people in my life? What do I need to do to find these people in my life? And now I found them. I found a bigger family than I already had. Never knew it. All these years, didn't know these people from the walls that I'm staring at, but after this monitor, I'm looking. Didn't know them, but now I know them. Now I'm getting to know them. They're getting to know me. I think they're pretty cool with me. I know that their confidence in what they've been through, it gives me hope. Like, I get it. I understand it because y'all able to speak out and have the conversations of what y'all been through. You know how hard it is to say that you've been in the shelter? That's what Tough Love would say. He went through a shelter. I lived with my family all my life, but he hasn't. It takes the courage to say, you know what? I'm able to speak about what I've been through. But at the end of the day, if I'll let him tell you if it hurt him or not or what it did for him, but it had to be painful for him. But now he's able to speak about it. Like I said, y'all heard Miss Coco BX's story. She's able to speak about it. She's able now to turn around and say, if you've been through this, I am here to help you. I'll understand you because I've been through the same. We all have our traumas. We all have our tragedies that we went through. We don't want to be like this man that shot up the people in Maine. Don't want to be like them right now. At the end of the day, we all need help. We need somebody to talk to. We need that special one that really cares about me to say, yo, you're doing it right or you're doing it wrong. We don't need yes people around us. The yes people ain't going to do nothing but hinder us. We ain't growing no more. We got yes people. We're grown. We don't need to be grown. We still need to grow. We still need time to figure out what's the next steps in our lives. We still alive. We're still breathing. Our next step is here, right? So we need to speak about it. We don't have to do this by ourselves, y'all. I'm going to keep saying that because we don't. There's a lot of us that's going through something, but then at the end of the day, we have to have that one to say, yo, I'm here for you. You know, I know Selena said, I love you to Reese's Pieces. I believe her. I believe her because that's what she said. We gotta give someone time to discredit themselves. I'm not gonna say nobody in this chat is a liar. I don't know you to say that. I'm not gonna say that because I don't know you well enough to say that you're a liar. In other words, for those people that like to think negative, I'm gonna give you the rope so you can hang yourself. Let's just go with that then. I'm gonna give y'all the rope for y'all to hang yourselves. There you go. But if I see you ain't using it, I'm gonna be there for you. And even if you do try to use it, I'm gonna stop you from using it. Even though that might sound crazy. Right? I gave you the rope to see if you hang yourself, but then you're gonna stop me from hanging myself. First of all, that's just a figure of speech. So let's do that. But what I'm saying is, I want to see what you do with this thing. I could give you the good advice. I could give you the bad advice. What you going to do with either one of them? That's the point. But there's so many people that's going through things by themselves that they're not even willing to have that conversation, that thought process. We don't have to do that. We're not an island. We're not here to be by ourselves, even though that's what it may seem like because of the choices that we made. Because that's all it really is choices that we made, decisions that we made. But we don't have to be here by ourselves, guys. We don't have to do nothing by ourselves. We can always get the help that we need. Who called me? Oh, Meek, stop playing all the time. I really felt like this needs, like, y'all don't know how crazy, I know people don't watch the news, but I'm waking up, I get my girls ready for school. And the first thing I hear is, hey, there's a mass shooting in Maine. I'm like, Maine? Who the hell is in Maine killing people? It's hunting season up there, but you hunting human beings. What the hell is that? That's crazy. You're in hunting season, but you're hunting human beings. That is not normal. If that ain't the cry for help, I don't know what it is. I really don't. And I'm just like, yo, what are we doing? What are we doing that we can't have this conversation with somebody? But at the end of the day, like I said, we don't have to do this by ourselves. Even if it's somebody on YouTube, there's good people on YouTube. Don't believe the hype, right? Everybody may be beefing, but there's some people that really want your best interests in hand. And there's nothing, they ain't got no skin in the game. Right? People like, this is how you know it's sad, guys, right? When people's peace is chaos. What do you mean? If your peace is chaos, you need help. There's something wrong. Really wrong. And it's time for you to figure out what it is. Or it's time to be honest and state what's bothering you.